Have you ever watched a factory robot or a CNC machine and just been amazed by its speed and grace? You ever wonder, how in the world does it do that? Well, it's not magic. It's actually a super precise conversation that's happening hundreds, even thousands of times a second. In this explainer, we're going to decode that secret language of motion and dive right into the world of servo drives.
So really, how do these machines pull off that flawless choreography? Well, it all comes down to a fundamental partnership. It's a perfect division of labor, really, between the part that thinks and the part that actually does the work.
The easiest way to think about it is brain versus brawn. You've got the motion controller. That's the brain. It's the strategist, the planner. It's the part that says, okay, we need to move from point A to point B. But the servo drive, that's the brawn. It takes that high-level plan and just makes it happen, applying the exact amount of power and control needed to execute the move absolutely perfectly. All right, so let's get into this partnership a little deeper, because it's way more than just a simple command and response. It's this constant, high-speed dialogue that makes sure every single movement is exactly right.
You see, the real secret to all this precision isn't just one single command. It's more like a continuous, internal conversation. The servo drive is constantly asking itself questions and correcting its own path in real time. And this all happens inside what we call a nested hierarchy of control loops.
And this slide just illustrates that hierarchy perfectly. On the very outside, you have the position loop. It's asking the big picture question, am I where I'm supposed to be? But to answer that, it relies on the velocity loop, which is checking, okay, am I moving at the right speed to get there? And then right at the very core, making it all happen, is the torque loop, asking, am I applying the exact right amount of force right now to maintain that speed? And get this entire cycle happens thousands of times every second. It's incredible.
But, what if we could take some of that thinking load off the main brain? Well, in some cases, the servo drive, the Brawn, can actually be given a bit of its own intelligence to handle common tasks all by itself.
These are what we call profile modes. The main controller just gives a simple, high-level command, and the drive itself figures out all the little details of the journey. For instance, in profile position, the controller just says, go to this coordinate, and the drive calculates the entire path to get there. This is super efficient because it frees up the main controller to worry about other things.
Now, when that drive is planning its little journey, it has a couple of choices. A trapezoidal profile is kind of like flooring the gas pedal and then slamming on the brakes. Yeah, it's fast, but it can be really jerky and cause a lot of vibration. The S-curve profile, on the other hand, is much smoother, like gently easing onto the accelerator. It's way better for the machine's long-term health, but it does take a bit more processing power from the drive to calculate.
So that's great for a single motor, a solo artist, if you will. But modern machines are more like a whole orchestra, with dozens of motors that all need to move in perfect synchronized harmony. For that, you need a conductor leading every single note.
And this is where the cyclic synchronous modes come into play. Here, the brain, the motion controller, really does act like a conductor. It's not just giving one command and walking away. No. It is sending a fresh, updated target to every single drive on the network, every single network cycle. We're talking as fast as every millisecond. It's this constant stream of commands that allows for the complex, coordinated ballet of a multi-axis robot.
What's really cool about this is how you can distribute the thinking. In CSP, or cyclic synchronous position, the brain just sends a position target, and the drive handles all three of those control loops we talked about. This is the workhorse for things like CNC machines. In CSV, the brain handles the position part and just tells the drive what speed to go. And then you have CST, where the brain is doing almost all the work, calculating the exact force needed and telling the drive to just apply it. This needs a really fast network, and it's absolutely perfect for collaborative robots that need to feel and react to the world around them.
So once you have this incredible level of coordination, it just opens up even more possibilities. We can now take this digital control to the next level, using pure mathematics to replace old-school, clunky physical mechanics like gearboxes and cams.
And this is where we get into electronic gearing and camming. Gearing is pretty straightforward. You link two motors together digitally, and the slave motor follows the master at a fixed ratio. It's basically a virtual gearbox. Camming, though, that's way more sophisticated. Here, the slave follows the master based on a complex, nonlinear profile that's stored in a table, perfectly mimicking the motion of an intricate, custom-machined mechanical cam.
And the real magic here, the thing that makes this a total game changer, is the flexibility.
With a physical cam, if you want to change the motion, you have to shut down the whole machine and physically swap out a heavy piece of metal. But with an electronic cam, you just load a different software profile on the fly without stopping. This is what enables the incredible speed and versatility of modern packaging and converting machines.
Okay, but hold on. There's one last absolutely critical step we've kind of glossed over. Before any of this amazing, precise motion can happen, the entire system needs a frame of reference. It has to know where zero is. And that process is called homing.
And this isn't as simple as just go to the end and stop. Oh no. To make sure everything is compatible and can handle every possible machine setup you can imagine, the official industry standard defines over 35 unique methods just for finding the 0 point.
So let's just look at a few examples here to see the variety. Method 1 is a classic. The machine moves until it physically hits a limit switch. Then it backs off just enough to find the first precise pulse from the motor's encoder. Method 33 doesn't even need a switch. It just looks for the encoder's built-in 0 pulse. And then you have methods 35 and 37, which are the simplest of all. The controller just says, hey, wherever you are right now, that's 0.
So, when you put this all together, you can really see the evolution. The servo drive has gone from being a simple power amplifier to this intelligent, almost self-sufficient partner in motion. It's truly one of the most sophisticated and critical components in all of modern automation.
And that brings us to a really interesting final thought. As these drives get even smarter, with more and more processing power right on board and direct connectivity to the cloud, how is that going to change the balance of power? Will that central motion controller, the brain, have to do less and less thinking as the Brawn becomes more and more intelligent? It's definitely something to think about.